Since this lesson is about the birth of Moses, what's the story of your beginning? Were you born to unwed parents like me? Did you and your siblings have different fathers like me and my sisters? Did you grow up not knowing or experiencing the love, nurture, and influence of a father in your life? When you were born, did your mother keep you, or did her circumstances make her put you up for adoption, abandon, or neglect you? Was she ashamed or embarrassed and tried to hide the fact that you were the product of an affair with a married man or a stranger? What was her mental, emotional, or financial status? Were you given to another relative to raise like my mother was? What makes a family dysfunctional? Or is it just another label people came up with to marginalize certain people or use it as a weapon of hate or judgment? Leave your responses in the comment section below if you can relate. Hi everybody and welcome. I'm Visible Lady of Faith coming to you with a summary of the Sunday School lesson entitled The Birth of Moses for Sunday, October the 2nd, 2022. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share this video, and hit the notification bell so you will be notified when we upload more content to this channel. Thanks. Hi everybody, we're back to discuss the Sunday School lesson for Sunday, the birth of Moses, and we have our off-camera student with us today. So today we're going to talk about, this lesson is about the story of the birth of Moses. So during this time, the Pharaoh felt kind of, intimidated or worried about the growth of the Israelites. So this is why he enacted a command or law or decree to have all male babies killed. So this is why Moses' mother, Jochebed, made a basket and put him in the ocean to protect him from that fate.
It sounds familiar.
Yeah, it does sound familiar. It sounds very familiar.
This almost sounds like voter suppression.
Yeah, it does. Like it does. Yes, when people feel threatened or intimidated in their mind, and then they act on those thoughts. So yeah, this is exactly what we are experiencing today with these petty voter suppression laws.
So So you're saying the Pharaoh was intimidated by the growth of the Israelites, so he put this decree in place where it started exterminating the male babies. But
right.
Yeah. But the girls are okay; they can live.
As far as I know, yeah, the girls are okay. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So why is that, I wonder?
Why is that?
Yeah, why the girls can live, the guys couldn't. That's not cool.
Well, without the males, the females can't reproduce. So, you know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, they can.
It takes two.
There's older males. They're around. They can have multiple wives at that time. It's true. So I didn't get that logic.
Well, sometime about leaders, we don't understand we don't always understand their thinking and their justification for doing things outside of being selfish and afraid to let go of their power.
I have a thought. Maybe would you say maybe the leader is he thinks women are weaker, so he can control them as opposed to guys.
That's a possibility. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's a possibility. So, as you said, the Pharaoh felt that his power or authority would be threatened in some way if the population of the Israelites increased. So, you have any comments on that?
Yeah, well, it's kind of like you're going from the voter suppression, because there's one thing is that with this new thing, this white replacement, and the white population is the fear of the black population, that the black population is starting to getting more education. They're starting to be getting more wealth, and they don't want the blacks to have that wealth. That means they have less power. So I would say when you say Pharaoh kind of felt the same way, this particular Pharaoh, because this Pharaoh, the Pharaoh previously, the one with Joseph, he had a lot of respect, and he just loved the Israelites. They got along like peas in the pot.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say that's why I said it sounds kind of familiar.
Yeah, I feel that if a leader has to rule with fear, he's feeling some type of insecurities. That's what I feel. If he has to make somebody feel less, or his objective was to marginalize them and to keep them in fear, it's just like today, like they're trying to keep the voters in fear or making it harder or more inconvenient. So if it's that way, and we just will give up and not do anything about it.
Another thing, what do you think about Putin and this war in Ukraine? So then that kind of sounds like the same thing again.
Yeah, it's like I honestly don't feel what is it accomplishing or why are they doing it in the first place. I don't know why. I don't know if anybody knows why this war is going on. Because actually it's not accomplishing anything, just a lot of deaths and property damage and destruction. So I don't get that.
Okay.
So the mother's love, Moses' mother, Jochebed, the mother's love, she wanted to protect her son. It said that the scripture said that, or in the Sunday school lesson said that she felt he was special. So she saw something in her baby that maybe other people didn't see. So she wanted to protect him and keep him safe and keep him alive. And that's what she did. So as far as Moses had two siblings, Miriam and Aaron. So it says that Miriam was watching the mother make the basket and put the baby, was it the Nile River?
Yes.
Put the baby in the basket in the Nile River to make sure that the baby would be okay. So when the Pharaoh's daughter found Moses in the basket in the river, she sent for someone to nurse the baby, and she said, "I'll pay." So I think how did she know? Why did she so happen to pick Moses' biological mother? I think that's interesting that all the women there, probably, I'm assuming it was a lot of women there, or servants there, or whatever, that Moses' mother, Jochebed, was selected to nurse him, and she, took care of him. And this Pharaoh's daughter she said, "I'll pay you to take care of him." So she took care of Moses, her own biological child, for I don't know how long, but it said later on in the story that she gave Moses back to the Pharaoh's daughter.
I have a comment and a question and see what, it's one. First of all, I think it's just the nature of a mother. They're going to do whatever it is to
protect their child.
Protect their child. Just
right.
Like Solomon, this woman, the two women that came there, and the one talking about it's my child. No, it's not. And then the wisdom of Solomon, when he said cut the baby in half, the mother wants the child to survive. So that's the instincts of mother. All mothers, are like that.
A lot of mothers. Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's special cases.
Right,
and let's not demonize it because, it could be a mental health issue.
Right.
It could be
we don't know what's going on. That's true.
It could be just the way they were raised.
Postpartum depression.
It's that we're so quick to judge someone and we shouldn't do that.
Right.
But I'm saying, women, they're struggling enough as it is, but then turn around trying to demonize them. That doesn't help the situation
judge
at all.
them or not be empathetic with them or their circumstance.
Yeah, it says, well, first, one of the things that I would say that what you were saying is the child was identified when they opened the basket. They said, "Oh, this is a Hebrew baby."
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Pharaoh's daughter recognized that, so because she told her to go get a Hebrew, female to come work as a servant to nurture this child. Okay, but here it's interesting. It says in the 8th verse, "Yes, go and answer." So the girl went out and got the baby's mother. Now,
right.
So,
Yeah, I thought that was interesting. Yeah.
well, here's an interesting thing. When a woman has a baby, she breastfeeds the child, right?
Some do, some
Yeah.
don't.
Okay.
Hmm.
But that period, I'm not sure. Unfortunately, I'm a father that have 4 kids, but still, I don't know all the details. That's why I'm asking you. Now,
Hmm.
women, it takes a while before their milk dry up because it's a natural thing that God created. They have milk and they can breastfeed a child, right?
Some can and some can't.
No, no,
Yeah.
no. I'm
Yeah.
just saying women.
Yeah.
Women in general.
Yes.
I'm not
Okay.
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 But the thing is, it's an interesting thing because she went out to look for a Hebrew woman to nurture this child.
She sent her servant out to
Yes.
find
someone.
someone. Yeah.
But also think about this. If I was a detective, I say, well, that woman didn't have a baby because she's not producing milk. That one's not producing, but this one is. So, duh, this woman must have had a baby not too long ago.
Mm-hmm.
So she had milk and she could nurture.
I mean, this may sound like a dumb question, but out of these women, you have a group of women. Well, how did she know which one had milk, which one didn't?
You women know that?
Didn't,
Isn't that true? Can you?
I mean, can you just look at a person and say, oh, they just had a baby versus somebody that didn't have a baby? Oh, she didn't have a baby. I don't want to sound, I mean, I had 4 children. I don't want to sound like ignorant to the fact, but if you haven't had a baby, you're not producing milk.
Right.
And I'm sure there's some cases health-wise that there are women that had babies that cannot produce milk because every baby that's born is not nursed, and it's the mother's decision to nurse or not nurse.
Just to answer, there's a high percent of women that can produce milk. Yeah, there's a special case, but we're not talking about that.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm saying is, let's just say there's 1,000 women. What's the probability that all of them will have babies, or let's say 10% may be having babies? They wouldn't popping out babies that fast. So I say a large percent of them were not producing babies. So it'll be a small percentage that you go and look for. So I'm trying to say, okay, she went out there and found the baby's mother, according to the way the scripture is.
Right.
Okay,
Right.
but there also could be. See, this one thing. There's a code among women that you guys chatter. True. So if you're in a situation like that, mothers are gonna chatter and do what they need to do.
Okay.
Case in point, like I think it's Afghanistan. The women, they got a taste of freedom where they can drive and everything, and now they want to go back and bring everything back. So the U.S. has pulled out of there, and the women say, no, we don't want to go back there. I'm beginning to hear rumors that they're going to pick up guns and start fighting them themselves because these women don't want to be constrained like that. They're human beings. That's all.
Well, it's all about power. People want to have power over other people for some reason. I don't know. Maybe it makes them feel, I don't know.
Well, I mean, okay.
Powerful, whatever reason.
Okay,
for whatever reason.
I got a question. What do you think bullies do?
Bullies do the same thing. Bullies want to try to be powerful, or make someone feel fearful of them and make them feel that they're in control of someone else.
So, but when you say you didn't know, but that's the reason why I brought up bullies. People, it's just the nature of human beings.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. So we know that the Pharaoh's daughter selected Jochebed, which is Moses' mother, to take care of him. But we were talking about this last night in Bible study we were wondering why, after, we don't know how long it was, but why did Jochebed give Moses back to the Pharaoh's daughter after a period of time? She, we didn't come up with an answer to that, or a speculation about why she would give Moses back to the Pharaoh's daughter to just finish raising.
The rule is that the king still wanted these Hebrew babies dead. Didn't want them growing no more.
Oh, okay. So it was like a protective measure.
Yeah. What
she wanted. Okay, because I thought we talked about it last night. I thought it was just like babies, but you said no, it was like male children.
Male children.
Male children.
They were going to exterminate. Now, if they could figure out well, you go further into the lesson where the midwives they're talking about, how come though? Because the midwives were told when they have the child, they're supposed to kill him, but the midwives they had chatter among them, and they deceived.
They weren't going to do that.
They wouldn't,
yeah,
no,
right,
because
right.
they were more in fear of God going and
Yeah,
killing
they know
them.
that
No,
wasn't right.
no.
Yeah, that wasn't right.
So the answer to that is, I think, this is my opinion,
Mm-hmm.
that mother's instinct kicking in and said, oh, well, he's older and, it's fine, but he's out of danger. No, he ain't. This kid can have anybody killed.
Okay. So this is why she gave her son Moses back to the Pharaoh's daughter. It was like to protect him. Yeah.
Right. But, okay. Go to the voter suppression.
Okay.
It's illegal to hand water to somebody standing in the line. Or we're going to cut out lesser booths. Or we're going to come up with something, well, everybody should have an ID because we want to make sure that everybody's legal to vote. So you got to have 3 IDs. But before they do that, they go in the white community. Do you have 3 IDs? Yeah. Okay, cool. Everybody's fine there. Let's go apply it over here because we know they don't have 3 IDs.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to make stuff up.
Right, exactly.
So,
they make stuff up. Yeah.
So the
try to intimidate and discourage people from voting.
Yes. Yeah, so what makes you think as newborns, how come the kids just can't turn around and say, okay, anybody that's 4 years old and younger, kill them? Okay.
Wow.
So the kid can do what he want to do.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what you call flaunting your power, authority, and abusing people and misusing people. So one thing I wanted to say that I learned from this lesson is that I had in the introduction about families and the dynamics of families and how some people label families as dysfunctional. But I think as we talked about the history in the Old Testament about Abraham and his family and his descendants, that God can use anyone to do great things. We don't have to let our circumstances dictate what our future is going to be. If we have faith and put in the work, and we should accomplish whatever it is that we want to accomplish. We don't have to stay stuck in a place where we don't want to be. Yes.
Well, you gave all the women all the love. So what was Moses' daddy's name?
Moses' dad's name was, I think, Aram.
Mm-hmm.
Aram.
Yeah, I just said that because I felt the men we got left out.
The men didn't get left out.
Yeah, well, see, I mean, it's kind of funny. That's why I said so much like this voter suppression because in Georgia, I forgot whoever that politician, they went in there and the black women showed up and made sure I didn't. What happened to the black men?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I'm trying to, put a little bit in for us, we need to step up our game.
I don't know. That's a controversial subject. Been listening to some news journalists, and they were saying that some of the people don't think voting is important, but voting is important because if you don't vote, and then they put someone in there that thinks differently than you think, or just has selfish motives and don't really care about the people, which a lot of politicians, I believe, don't care about what the people they're supposed to be representing want, that you have more of those kinds of politicians in office.
Well, I mean, when you think when it finally gets to the point where Moses goes away for the 40-some years and he come back and he leads the Israelites out of Egypt, look how ugly it got when they were down there because this here goes on and they into slavery and the Israelites didn't like it. Same thing. We don't like voter suppression and shutting us up.
The same thing happened in this lesson that I was reading, that this Pharaoh put these people in hard labor, and it's just like doing things to break people down, keep them from thriving to accomplish whatever they wanted to accomplish. It said that he put them in hard labor, and he put I call slave watchers over them to make sure that they were doing what they were supposed to do. And that just sounds like slavery time, You have people doing hard labor and having people watching them, to make sure they're doing what they want them to do. So it's just a matter of power and control and flaunting your authority you have I just call it like inflated self-esteem or self-worth or whatever to treat somebody like that.
And it's basically we're in modern day slave, the plantations, the jails.
Yeah, the jails.
Yeah, we need to pay attention to the laws and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's why voting is important. Yeah.
Yeah, and when you decide to, and it's funny that those that say, I don't want to vote because they're gonna put whoever they want in there and the whole thing. But guess what? This country keeps going the way it's going. I believe it's going to end up in another civil war because people are not going to tolerate that. And look at the history. The Israelites, they got tired of it, so they wanted to get out of there, and they asked God to get them out of there. So guess what? That turned it into violence. So it's always going to be something. So to me, that's what Satan wants you to do. Sit on the sideline and do nothing.
Right.
So he can do what he want to do.
Yeah, but that's what they're trying to do now. Like when you vote, you're supposed to do the will of the people. But they're trying to change it now to on these state levels or maybe federal levels too, to let these politicians decide if someone wins that they don't like, that they have the power to change the will of the people. So that's not democracy.
Well, but you got to understand when they say the will of the people, the will of what people? Is it
the voters?
Is it the will of the right, the far right? Is it the will of the far left? What people are we talking about?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Because the question to me is, it's the same thing. The will of the people.
Yeah, what people are you talking about? Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah,
well, I think the will of the people they talk about is rich, corrupt politicians. That's the will of the people they're referring to.
Yeah,
but they just say that so we can that's it.
Yeah. So, do you have any final comments so we can wrap this up? Yeah.
Yeah, and then it's also too within the within the lesson here, as well. It's the same thing. You can see the same thing when, especially when Moses he turns around and he kills the Egyptian when he finally realized this is a little bit.
That's later on. Yeah, that's later on in his life. Yeah.
But at the same time, the same thing, and they turn around, and it's the way we think. Moses did a bad thing, and the people of the Israelites looked at it and say, "You're corrupt. You don't have the right to kill people like that. That's not right." Okay, I'm not saying they should have said, "Ooh, wow, he's Hebrew just like me," but no, he's kind of an Egyptian, because Moses knew the Egyptian way. Okay, so what my point I'm trying to make is the fact is that sometimes we have good intentions, but it can be misunderstood in a way that's not going to help the cause. And that's the problem we have as Christians, is sitting and looking at this. It's tough.
Yeah,
we have to fight hatred and everything with love, but we got to look at the whole Bible, everything. Because look at King David. David wasn't having it. He's going to go after. He's going to start a war. So this is what bothers me as a Christian, that I'm just praying and hoping that the lay of the land now, I see it's a possibility of civil war. It could be war, because right now this system is so broken and everything is so far away from God that it seems like something's going to give, and it's not going to be good.
Yeah, I agree with that. So I was before we started doing this video, I was watching this another video on YouTube, and it was a museum. I'm trying to remember this quote that this person showed. Let's see if I remember it. I'm gonna try to quote it. If I don't get it right, just
go ahead.
Okay. It said, "The love of power." Let's see. If the love of power was as strong as the love of power was strong as the power of love, there would be more peace in the world. So I said, "Oh, that's beautiful. Yeah, that's true. That's true." I like that quote. So anyway, thanks for watching. We're going to wrap this up, and we will see you next time. All right? Bye.